What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all had a fantastic and wonderful Thanksgiving. And what I've got for you today is something a little bit different, just a little bit. It's a review of the new Elgato Game Capture HD60. Now, this is the most recent game capture card from Elgato that was released just a few months ago. It's fairly new, and a lot of people are wondering if they should upgrade from the original game capture or if they should bother with an Elgato at all. So the good folks at Elgato were actually nice enough, they didn't have to, but they sent me an HD60 game capture card to review it, test it out, see how I like it, and just kind of give my thoughts on it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. If you've been wondering whether or not you should even bother upgrading to the HD60 from the Game Capture HD, I'm gonna go ahead right off the bat and say absolutely. And that's for a few reasons. Number one, YouTube now supports 1080p 60 frames per second and 720p 60 frames per second. So because YouTube has made these advancements, it's good to have a capture card that's kind of keeping up with the times. You've probably seen at least a handful of videos on my channel at 1080p 60 frames per second, and all of that, anything that's on my channel that's available in 60 frames per second was captured using the HD60. So that right there is the biggest incentive to upgrade to the HD60 is the 1080p HD. Doesn't matter if you're playing on Xbox One, PS4, 360, whatever. I've had no problem capturing footage with the HD60, no crashes, anything like that. Now, when I do a review, I always like to give both sides. So I've given you the pros about the HD60, but let's talk about the cons. And in all honesty, there's really only one con I have about the HD60, and that is that it's USB 2.0 instead of 3.0. And truth be told, that's kind of nitpicking. You know, that if that's the worst thing about the device, and it is, that's a very, very good thing. This really only is going to have effect on people who like to live stream though. The game capture software, especially the upgraded one, has great features and it has all the live stream functionalities inside of it. But in my opinion, because it's lacking the USB 3.0 and still is using 2.0, obviously that kind of affects speed and data transfer, that kind of stuff. That also means that there's a little bit of a lag between what you're seeing on your screen when you're playing and what's capturing. There's a few seconds of delay. Now I will say that the HD60 decreases that delay by a pretty good amount. The original game capture had, I think it was almost a 5-second delay, if I'm not mistaken, and the HD60 is down to maybe 1.5, 2 seconds at most. So if you're going to stream with the HD60, but you don't want to use the Elgato software, say you're using XSplit or OBS or one of those, you're gonna have to spend a little bit of time trying to figure out, you know, how to tweak your settings to line everything up, and that can get a little frustrating because I know a lot of people like to stream through programs like OBS and XSplit. So I wanted to make sure that I put that note in there for streamers. There is still a delay between the signal and what you see on your screen. You won't see any sort of lag or delay while you're playing, but you will see the delay in the recording software. Again, when I do reviews, I like to give you the full story. So if some of you go out and buy an HD60 after this, and all I said was, it's amazing, and it's fantastic, and there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever, and they come back and they're like, oh, well, you know, there's a lag, and there's a delay, and it's USB 2.0, why don't you say that stuff, you know? I like to keep the playing field pretty even, but honestly, overall, I would absolutely recommend upgrading to the HD60 from the original game capture. You get 60 frames per second, the quality is excellent, the software does not crash, and honestly, the software is probably the reason why I'm not gonna switch from Elgato anytime soon. I'll be honest, I recently bought an AverMedia device just to kind of see what my options were. And I was planning to use that for most of my recording and streaming, but the software wasn't really that great. I was getting some quality issues. I was getting issues that I did not have with the HD60. So what I'll likely do is keep the AverMedia for streaming since there's no input delay and no need to mess with too many settings when I'm streaming. But I don't stream that much. I record way more gameplay than I stream. So the HD60 is where it's at for me. Also, it's Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday is coming up. I'm sure you guys can find a pretty discounted HD60 if you look hard enough. So all in all, I absolutely recommend the HD60. Let me know if you have any questions about it in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer any issues or questions you may be having about it. And that's gonna do it. So thank you guys, as always, for watching. Be sure to leave a like on this video before you go, and subscribe right now for much more gaming entertainment. Follow me on Twitter at IamTheDank, and I'll see you soon.